Hello and welcome back to Harriet's Custom Computer Art Plus. If this is your first time, thank you so much for stopping by. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell if you'd like to be notified the minute I have up new tutorials. I'm now partnered with Koala Paper Products, and the products that I use will be linked in the description. Let's get started. Today I'm going to be showing you how I make what I call a character wall banner. This one's made up of individual letters, great for budget parties because it's easy to make. You can print them at home. So I'm going to show you how to make these right now. Now this one was approximately 50 inches. I used the 11 by 17 inch paper, but they're very easy to make using 8.5 by 11 inch paper. I used to make them with that all the time. For this banner I use Koala matte inkjet sticker paper and also Koala's glossy photo paper that's 11 by 17 inches and 48 pounds. Alright, so let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and bring up Canva. And I like to have all the artwork that I plan to use in my projects already open so I don't have to constantly go back and forth to find it in my photo section. And now I'm just going to bring up one of the characters, one of the images, because I want the letters that I'm going to make to be the same colors as the colors of Lilo and Stitch with what Lilo is wearing. So I'm going to go ahead, and for this you want to look for a big chunky font. So I'm going to start by clicking and adding a heading. And since the first letter of the child's name was Faila, so I'm going to start it out with the capital F. And I like to make all of these capital whenever I make these character banners. So I'm going to make the letter F. I'm going to enlarge it. And that font is pretty good, but I want a thicker font. The font that I use, let me see if I can remember which one it was. Archival Black, I think it was the one. Yes, I did. It was this one. So I'm going to bring out that letter. I'm going to make it as large as I can get it on this page. Might have to zoom out a little bit. So now I'm going to go to text, add a heading, and for this project you want to use a chunky font. You don't want a thin one. It looks better when you use the thicker font. So I'm going to go ahead and just put an F, a capital F, because the child's name begins with F. The name is Faila, and so I'm going to start off with the F, but I want the chunky F. So I'm going to go into my fonts, and I usually use Archival Black. Also Arial Black is a good one to use, but Archival Black is, I think, even a little thicker than Arial Black. I'm going to go to my effect, and I'm going to change it to the color in her dress and the blue of Stitch's skin. So I'm going to still go ahead and put that border around it, and for this one I'm going to make it 55, and that just looked good when I used 55, so that's why I'm using it again, but you can make it as thick as you want. And then I'm going to change the color to the color in her dress. So to do that I click on this gray circle, which is the outline, and then I'm going to click on the rainbow circle. I'm going to grab by clicking on that dipper. It's like a medicine dipper that you use for little babies' medicine. I'm going to use that, and then I'm going to go here in her dress. When I find the spot I want, I'm going to click it. Next, I'm going to duplicate the same letter. I'm going to right click. I'm on my laptop, so on this I right click and choose duplicate. And then I'm going to change that font. So I'm going to go to effects again, but I'm going to take the font down to 25. And I'm going to change the color to the blue of Stitch. So I'm going to once again grab that dipper or dropper, and I'm going to put it in whatever color I want that blue to be. I kind of like this lighter blue. And there you go. I have the outline. I think I want this pink outline. I must have made it a little thicker because I want the blue outline and the pink outline to look like they're the same thickness. So I'm going to go back to the larger F, because remember I have two F's here. I'm just going to superimpose one over the other. So I'm going to go back to the larger F. I can move this one out the way. And I'm going to go back into effects, and let's try making that 65. See what happens. I think maybe, I know it was one of the fives. It was either 65 or 55. But like I said, you can do it however you wish. Okay, yeah, it was 65. So now that I have this letter, I'm just going to slide together so that I can choose them both, and I'm going to resize it so that it's filling up the majority of the page, but just leaving a little bit so that when I send it to my printer, it's not going to cut off any of the letter. So I'm going to take that up there, and then I'm just going to resize this a little bit more, and I want to make it a little bit bigger. And if you're doing this on 8.5 by 11, you'll definitely want to do it this way so that you can take advantage of the full 8.5 by 11 inch, as much of it as possible. Alright, so now that I have this the way I want it, I'm going to move this little, I keep wanting to call it Moana, I'm going to move that little picture of Stitch and Lilo and Stitch to the next page. And now I'm just going to duplicate this for as many letters as I need. So I need, first of all, I need the F, the A, I need an I, an L, and an A. Now what I did on that one, I transferred the colors back and forth. So for the next letter, I want the inside letter to have the pink outline and the outside to be blue. So I'm just going to click on this. I'm going to change it to an A by highlighting it. I double click to highlight, and I'm going to change this one to A also. So you will have to do this for each of the letters. If you decide you just wanted to use one letter, you can do that so that you don't have to do this, but it's not that difficult. So now I'm just going to go back into effects, and I'm going to change that blue to the pink, and then while that's still open, I'm going to click on the other one, and I'm going to change that pink to the blue. And just like that, you're going to do that for each one of these, and then you're just going to put them back in place. So this one is already the right color, so you're just going to have to do, go to every other one. That's what I should have said. Alright, so once again, I'm going to go to effects, move it over. I want the inside pink and the outside blue, and it's just as easy as that. Move that back into place. Oh, I didn't center that one. And then skip that one, and we have that one. The last one. Okay, so I need FA. This should be an I. So I'm going to change that to a capital I. And this should be an L. Oops. I didn't. Let me move this one out the way so I can get to that one. Change it. What the heck? Oh, looks like I added something in there. Let's see, what did I add? I'm going to do the back arrow to get, oh, I added a line. I don't know where that came from. I guess Control L brings a line in. That's something new. I can use that at another time. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and change this one to an L. And then put that back in place. And this one will be an A again. Move it over, change that one to an A, and now put them back together. Now I'm going to cut this out using Cricut, but it's just as easy to cut it out by hand. And so what I normally do, I'll save these once I have them set up like I want, but we have another step before I go there. But I'm just making sure that I have my alternating colors before I go any further. Now, before you take it into Cricut, you want to make sure that you have these characters the size that you want them. So I'm going to zoom out more, and I'm going to move up the characters to the letters that I put them on. So I started out with this wave, and you're just going to resize it to whatever size you think looks good. You want to, of course, have enough of the letters so that they can still recognize what it is, but you can make it pretty big. And then I'm just going to take up each character, remove the background, and then I can just take them all up together and then move them to the one I want them to. So I'm just going to drag over everybody. I'm going to go ahead and group them for now and drag them up. Then for the L, I had the little one with Lilo. No, is it Lilo? Stitch by himself. So I'm going to ungroup it over here, and I'm going to go ahead and grab him, bring him back down to the L. Erase the background by clicking background remover. Position him. He's pretty much the size that I used. Yeah. So I'll just sit him where it looks like his feet are right on the pink portion of that letter. And then I'll move up to the next one, and for that one I used Lilo by herself. Now this one, the pink Aloha was not the color I wanted, so all I did was I just went into background remover and removed the stitch portion in here, and then I just used edit to change the colors and adjust, and just played around with these until I got it to the color that matched her dress. But you don't have to do that. I just I wanted it to be the exact pink of her dress. So now I'm just going to group this again, and I'll move that one. That one was on the A, so I'll put that there. And then this one is on the very first one, so I'm going to drag that up there, and then I'll just take care of those backgrounds once I get to them. So now I have that one. I have Lilo, and Lilo. I have Lilo, and all I did was flip her in the other direction because I wanted to put her on this side because her hair was disappearing, and so I wanted to move her to this side and have her hair still showing, and then resize her however large you want, and then resize her to however large you want, kind of keeping them all within the same size, so that I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know how much bigger she is than he is. So I just kind of eyed it to make the sizes. So I'm going to go ahead and ungroup this one because I didn't take the background off of the Stitch character. I'm going to go ahead and go to background remover, and then I'm going to group those again. I put it right across the A, and this one I made kind of big, so I had it, because you can definitely tell that's an A, so I just made it kind of big and had it going a little bit out of both sides. Now if I went too far out, it would have taken that where it would have been a bad cut. It would have probably cut off completely when I take it to Cricut. So anytime I have stars or any little image like that, I'll try to have it on the letter. And I think I did that with another one. Yeah, with this one with the hearts. Let me go ahead and remove that one. So what I did with this one with the hearts, since I wanted those hearts on there because I thought it was cute after I resized them, all I did was I went ahead and just made a duplicate of this one, and then I erased everything except the hearts. So I made this super large so I could get this done quickly. So if you have some pieces that are going to hang over that would just basically be lost and cut out, you can do it like I'm doing it. And then, yeah, that's the ones that are alone. So I can put them in place. I'm just going to cut out all this excess so I can put them right where I want them. And I will just print them on the F. So I'll leave those there. And then I can erase them off of here because I don't want double hearts. And this one I'm just going to erase the 2 hearts. And now I'm going to look at all the letters. By clicking on pages, I can see all the letters, and that looks pretty good to me. So now I'm ready to start moving the characters. Now that I know I have them the right size, I'm not going to resize them. I'm actually going to make a couple of pages so that I can move all of these down to the page. And you're not going to resize them because this is the size you need. Now, if you make a mistake, you can easily fix that because you can go into Design Space and hey, yeah, okay. You can go into Design Space and you can match them up again in there and resize them if you need to. But I always size everything the way I want it before I even take it into Design Space. And then if I should need to, I know that, oops, I took the whole letter. I didn't mean to do that. I just want the character. And then the last one. And I'm just, did it again. I just want the character. And then I'm just going to go to these pages now and resize them so that they'll be set up how I want them when I upload it into Design Space. Looks like I'm missing, no, he's back there hiding. Thought I was missing one, but there he is. It's the main thing is you want to use as little, as few sheets of paper as you can, so you don't have to keep loading up the Cricut mats. So that should do it. I can move it over a little bit because it only needs a little space. Alright, so we're set all ready to take this into Design Space.